I'm a complete sucker for great storytelling on sneakers, especially when it comes to a special project or a collaboration. I think it's just a great opportunity for whoever's collaborating with the company to really get their message across, whatever they want to say, just present it in this super cool form or medium to the consumer. There are some shoes in my current rotation that has great storytelling, like the Nike Dunk Low Sitsuban, the Nike Dunk Low Clot and Fragment design. I always really appreciated the effort and details and the thought process that went into those shoes. And the shoe that I have for you today, oof, my goodness, the storytelling on this shoe is tremendous. Social status Nike Mech Attack Silver Linings. Now, if you didn't know, Social Status is a brand founded by James Whitner, who also founded Armand Manera, APB, just a ton of different things. He's killing it. They are all killing it. And if you didn't know, the Mech Attack was designed in the 80s, worn by tennis star John McEnroe. Back in those times, he was kind of a controversial star player from the United States. He was very hard-headed, and in a sport like tennis, it's not really welcome. So he was kind of controversial, but this shoe was made for him. As someone that's never played tennis, I don't watch it, I don't follow it, nothing. I've never owned a pair of Mech Attacks before, but I do like the look of this shoe. Now, this shoe dropped on July 14th for $140. I think it was a pretty limited release. Now, this is actually the first colorway out of 4 collaborations with Social Status and this silhouette. This shoe is named Silver Linings. So the story behind that is, it's to celebrate the 1st and the 15th of each month, and the significance of those 2 dates, it's supposed to represent when disability checks and food stamps are handed out. So it's to tell the story of the more underprivileged. And true to the great storytelling of the shoe, there's a short 3-minute clip on YouTube that kind of tells the story behind the inspiration of this shoe. And there's a theme in that video as well as this shoe. It's to represent like a bodega store, like a corner store in your community that serves your community. And I love that. The attention to details, the thought that goes behind creating a shoe. I really appreciate it. Now, the box of the shoe is where a lot of magic happens. Look at that. Super unique, super special. You just don't see this type of presentation very often. And right under the Nike and Social Status logos, you see the words serving fresh goods every day. And then on the side of the box, again playing into that bodega corner store theme, you see the door of the store, lucky lottery signs, ATM machine that you always see in every one of those bodegas. Love that. Just the presentation and storytelling. How can you not love it? But I'm not done. When you open the box, you find this nylon bag that says Social Status, Nike, and the words, "Thank you for supporting your neighborhood." I love that. Will I ever use this bag in real life? No. Do I appreciate the storytelling and the memorabilia that comes with it? Absolutely. Inside the box, instead of normal, bland, boring shoe paper, it has this. And it's supposed to represent like a catalog you see from a grocery store or a bodega. I love it. Love the storytelling. It's just, whew. And up top, you can see the 9 physical locations listed out again. And then 10, including the online store. Does it provide any extra functionality and practicality? No. Do I appreciate it? Again, yes. And what's also included is this stack of Social Status currency. So there's like 1 point, 10 points, and I believe it's meant to resemble like food stamps. And on the back of the stack, with the warning label and the warning message, it's just really, really well done. The thought and effort and details, tremendous. And the upper sole of the shoe comes with a mix of materials. So on the base layer, it's this mesh material. And then on the overlays, it is suede. And the suede generally, it's pretty nice. It's like a pretty thin layer of suede. And it's not that long-haired suede. But on the heel counter, you'll see more of like that correct suede aesthetic. And then on the swoosh, as well as the ankle collar, you'll see the silver nylon material. And of course, the silver is to reference the silver linings theme of this shoe in particular. Now, one thing about this nylon, it is tearaway material. So if you remove that, underneath you'll see this pinkish hue suede that kind of matches the Nike branding on the booty of the shoe. And I think that's a pretty cool look. I'm not gonna tear it away. I always wait in terms of like tearaway shoes. I always wait till I wear the shoe in its original form for a while. And then maybe I'll think about tearing it away. Now, the Mech Attack comes with a rubber cup sole, just like a Jordan 1, the Jordan Airships. But unlike the Jordan 1, there is no Nike Air. You see on the tag, on the tongue of the shoe, it just has Nike branding, no air underneath. just like the Nike Dunks. There's no Nike Air in those. Now speaking on the tongue, one shoe says Nike and the other one has the social status symbol and logo. And that's not the only time when they split between Nike and social status branding between each shoe. On the insole of the shoes, you'll see one has the social status logo and the other one with the Nike logo. It lists out all 10 social status locations, past and present. It's interesting how they pair them up. So with the shoe that has the Nike Air tag on the tongue, they have the social status insole and it's flipped around on the other shoe. So they want both shoes to have both logos. Now this shoe does use that pre-aged midsole aesthetic that I complain about a lot on other shoes. However, for this shoe, especially with this colorway, the storytelling behind the shoe, I think it kind of makes sense. I think it looks nice with the rest of the upper sole. On the outsole of the shoe, more of a gray color, and the traction is pretty interesting. You see this circle and square pattern all over, but on the Nike cutout, the checkerboard pattern, this traction looks like it'll work well for a variety of use cases. I kind of dig it, and I like how unique that looks. Now remember, this shoe was originally made to be a tennis shoe. I've never played tennis in my life. I have no idea what type of traction on shoes works best for tennis. I imagine this would work pretty well. Now the shoe does come with 2 extra set of laces, and I do have to point out the box of the laces, it's super cool. It is made to look like a box of candy, so you'll see that 80s, 90s retro font that says laces, as well as the social status and Nike logo. I really love that. Again, storytelling on the shoe, love it. So one set of laces come with that pinkish hue that you see on the Nike branding on the booty of the shoe. And the other set of laces is actually this yellow kind of color. Now I think those are very, very unique colors and you don't see that every day. However, honestly, I think I prefer the default laces. I think it just goes more cleanly with the shoe. Maybe if I tore away the nylon and then reveal the pink swoosh underneath, then that set of laces might make more sense. But I think just in its original form, I like the way it looks. Maybe even white laces. That might give a different look and dimension to this shoe, but I think I'm gonna stick with the default. Now moving on to size and comfort, I'm a size 9.5 true to size. I do have wide feet. I've never owned a pair of Mech Attacks before, so I was kind of going in blind. I went true to size, and I will say, if you have wide feet, I might consider going up half a size. This shoe, the silhouette, it is slender. It is snug and tight around my feet, especially the toe box area. Whew. I have loosened up the laces as much as possible. You can't see it because I tightened it up for this video. When I'm holding in hand, I don't want the laces to go everywhere. However, when I put them on feet, loosened it up, wore thin socks, it is tight, it's snug, it just is what it is. I think I could still wear it. It's not like to the point where I would sell the shoe because there's just no way I could fit my feet into it. The length of the shoe actually fits pretty well. If I had to make a comparison for the snugness of the shoe, I think probably like an Air Max 1, maybe even slightly tighter. However, I'm sticking to it. I'm gonna break this in as much as possible, wear it a ton, and just kind of fight through that snugness. Comfort-wise, I think it's decent. The padding around the ankle collar is pretty nice. There's no Air, Zoom Air, Nike Air, nothing. That's it. A very ancient technology. So the comfort, it's okay, and it's hard to judge because I did go true to size and it's very snug and tight. So it's hard to judge comfort like very objectively when you're kind of thinking about how tight this shoe is wrapping around your feet. If you don't have wide feet, I'd recommend just staying true to size. If you do have wide feet, definitely consider going up half a size. And I do have to make this clear, you gotta be sure you have wide feet. The recommendations I give based on my feet, I know 100% that I have wide feet. I know there's some people that are like, I have wide feet, and then they really don't. They just have kind of slightly wider than normal narrow feet. But compared to my wide feet, they ain't nothing. So definitely make sure you have wide feet. Now that brings the total sole score to 18 out of 25. And if you want to see the sole score for every single shoe that I've reviewed, just go to soleandcline.com and it's all there. Now colorway wise, I alluded to this earlier. I think this is a nice, simple, sleek, and clean looking color. I don't usually love the sale and pre-aged midsole. I think it's overdone. But in this context, the way it's presented, I think it looks very cool. The hints of that pinkish red hue that you see on the tag on the tongue, as well as the booty of the shoe, really gives this shoe an extra pop. And if you do end up tearing away the nylon on the swoosh, as well as the ankle collar, yeah, and it gives it a different look to the shoe. Now material wise, I don't love it. I think the suede is good, it's fine, and it feels like a thinner cut of suede. Now the mesh base layer does feel very sturdy. The silver nylon that you see on the ankle collar and the swoosh, I don't love it, thankfully for me. I can always tear that away and remove it. Now comfort wise, I don't think this is a very comfortable shoe, at least not for my feet. I think it is very snug, it's very tight, should have gone up half a size, but regardless, I don't think it's the lightest shoe. There's like some weight to it, especially with the rubber cup sole. There's no Nike Air anywhere, so the cushioning is very minimal. The padding inside the shoe, I will give them credit, it is pretty well done, but in general, in a vacuum, compared to other shoes in my current rotation, that's not the most comfortable. Now versatility wise, despite this being a tennis shoe, I think it's very versatile. A lot of people wear tennis sneakers, even though they never play tennis. Doesn't really matter. I think you can wear this shoe casually very easily. And the colorway, I think it lends itself well to a lot of different outfits. Super muted, super subtle. I think it works easily. Now in terms of storytelling, like I said in the intro of the video, this is where the shoe really shines. From the box of the shoe, to the paper, to even the box of the extra laces, the shoe itself, to the video that they put out, to the insoles, it's packaged so neatly and presented in such a creative way. I really appreciate it. That's what a collaboration, in my opinion, if you have something to say, as a collaborator, you should think about. A lot of people say storytelling on sneakers, it just doesn't really matter. As long as the shoe looks good, who cares? I know what they mean, and I think in terms of like a general and normal release, I think that makes sense. Who cares? It's just a color and a shoe. Give it to us, that's all we care about. However, I think when it comes to special projects and collaborations, the storytelling does matter. I think sneakers, like a lot of other mediums, it's one way to really get across your message, to really say something. Depending on how the message is delivered, whether that's a small detail on a shoe that prompts someone to research more about a particular topic and then learn something new, or the box itself and how that's presented, and that's what I appreciate most about this shoe. Do I love the Mac Attack silhouette? No. Is it the most comfortable? No. Is it my favorite colorway? Nope. But is the story and the presentation of the shoe just absolutely outstanding? I'd definitely say yes. So that's it. Thanks for watching Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Nike Mac Attack Social Status Silver Linings. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.